So and today is the last day with your bike. You sold it.
Yes, I sold it. I'll bring it today to home practical.
Sad after all these years, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say, yesterday I saw Silvan in the town. He bought a new car, a Mini Cooper John Works.
I hear it's too expensive and a bad one.
Yes, I hear it also.
I heard it's a woman's car.
To jest wyścigówka, kurwa.
Ah,
What
Did he say?
you say it's like a good go-kart.
Okay, guys,
There you go.
let's find out what it is. Is it a go-kart or a women's car?
No to kurwa sam zobacz.
What did he say?
Nothing important.
So, and here we are to find out what at the end this Mini John Cooper Works at the end really is. Is it a BMW for girls? Is it a go-kart? Is it a retro looking car with sport DNA like some people says? And we will find out here. And where we can find it better out than here at the holy ground, the daddy of all Swiss passes, the Klausen Pass. So this is the best ground to find out how well or bad this car performs. Since 1922, the Klausenpass is world famous for his Klausen race. And like the other race cars, also today the Mini needs to show us how good he can perform. Here's very important that you have a good suspension, good engine, good gearbox, and you need to know what you do anytime when you drive here fast, because it could be immediately dangerous. You got very, very tight corners here, sometimes bad bumpy tarmac, and sometimes you got here also really bad descents. So we will find out how this car performs and what at the end will it be. Is it a BMW for girls? Is it a performance car? Is it a sports car? Is it even a go-kart? Let's find out. But before we start to drive, we put the setting on Ultra Sharp Sport. And what I love at this car, it's a brand new car, but it still old school. So you got here the switch for the drive select, so you can choose your mode. And what I mostly love, you got here the switch for the traction control. So you don't need to go at some hidden menus at the computer to searching somehow how you can deactivate it or how you can go to different driving modes. So it's just one button, you press it like by the old cars and it's deactivated. One button more and then you go to another sport setting from the car. So we go right now to sport, we deactivate the traction control, we go into dynamic traction control. That means it's not full deactivated, it's just partially deactivated. If I keep holding this button for 3 seconds, then it's full deactivated, and then you can drive really, really sporty. But we got right now wet street. It's around 5 degrees. It's right now, 5 Celsius outside. So the Pirelli P0 we got on the car, they are really they got troubling. They struggling to get the power from the car on the street. So that's the reason why we don't go to the full deactivated traction control. We're still in the track deactivated traction control. All right, and immediately as soon as you start to driving, you feel how direct the acceleration pedal is working, much more sensitive than in the normal mode. So when you're driving at this street, when you're driving at the Klausenpass and you want to drive sporty and you deactivate some assistance systems, you exactly need to know what you do because it could be dangerous. And also you exactly need to know your car. So if you drive the first time with a brand new car, don't be foolish, drive it once or twice before you deactivate it. All this is assistance. So, to the question, how the car feels, it feels really, somehow, really like a go-kart. The steering is, if you put it in the sport mode, extremely sharp, extremely much feedback, extreme direct. You feel really the tarmac, you feel if the wheels have grip or not. And this car loves to go through the corners. If I compare it to a Golf GTI, Golf 8 GTI, this car feels much more racier, much more lighter. even it is not much more lighter than the Golf, but I think it's because it's shorter. You see, this car loves corners in the right setting. Wow. You feel every bump of the street. You got a very good feedback from the steering wheel. You really feel if the car has grip or doesn't have grip. So right now we're driving at wet conditions. The Pirelli P0 got really issues to get the power on the tarmac. But all the other feelings about this car, they are really sporty. I love it, really. It feels great, it feels really great. Such a nice, small, sporty car, really. Wow. It is absolutely worth its money. It's not just a bad guy looking, it's really a bad guy driving. Oh, yes. I think if you choose this car, you will choose it primarily for as a daily car. And sometimes you will go out at the weekend, like we do it right now at the pass, or if you got the opportunity to go to the track with the car, it's absolutely also no problem for the car. But for the guys who decide to go at the track with the car, I will recommend get another suspension. The suspension of this car, don't get me wrong, it's very good, but it's a little bit more, yeah, it's mainstream. It's more on the softer side than on the harder side. So if you drive it normally, like we do it, a little bit faster, a little bit sportier, it's absolutely enough. So we are right now 2 persons in the car. As I say, it's wet, it's cold. It doesn't have enough grip, but you see that the car tried to give his best to put the grip, put the power on the street, and it works. It works not perfect at wet condition, but I mean it's normal. I think this car at dry conditions and warmer weather will be absolutely a rocket on any street, on any pass street, and also serious weapon on the track. So it's really a sport hot hatchback, really, and in my eyes it's really driving sportier than a Golf 8 GTI. Feels more directed to me. I love also the sound. Even it's a 4-cylinder, a 2-liter engine, you got this nice crispy sound. If you're driving higher RPM, sounds somehow like a Honda Civic Type R. Reminds me of this car a little bit. So it's nice. It's noisy a little bit, but not too much. What I don't like at this car is the shift knob. It doesn't look nice, not at all, but that's not the problem. The problem is it's pretty imprecise. It's not precise. The second gear, every 5th time I want to change the gear fast, I throw it out. So it doesn't have a good feeling at the second gear. That's the only thing I don't like at the gearbox and the shift knob. It's not precise. And also, if you drive really sporty through the corners, you always get at this button here for the volume of the radio, and you always change it immediately to another setting. That's also not a good thing. The rest, the brakes, great. I love the drop point, how it feels. You got really also good feeling at the pedals. You really have a good feeling at the pedals by this car. By braking, by accelerating, even the clutch feels nice. It's not too soft, it's not too hard. It's really at my taste. But the greatest thing about this car is how quick this car is through the corners. So this is my first mini John Cooper work that I'm driving. I don't know how was the models before, but I don't think there was better than this one. So from the first moment when you touch the steering wheel, you feel immediately, if you already drive a BMW, this is BMW. Feels like the steering wheel feels like any other M Performance steering wheel. It's thick, it's grippy, the material is genuine, it's premium. And also the setting, the menu of the multimedia system, you see everywhere was BMW behind that. And that's good because the car feels so premium for such a small car. I mean, if you compare it to a Golf or to a Polo GTI, it feels much more premium. Even you got some here somewhere, a little bit plastic, but doesn't matter. because the rest of the car feels so well. And also the leather and the seats. Oh, the seats, yes, I forgot to talk about the seats. The seats are great. You have such a good holding at the side. Feels comfy, but also nice, sporty. You got the secureness. You can go through the corners and doesn't throw you out. So what's the conclusion? Yeah, the conclusion is I love this car. This car is full of emotions. It's a great daily car. You can use it to go at work, you can use it to go shopping, and you can use it at the weekend as a weekend warrior and just have fun. You can go to the passes, you can go on the racetrack if you got the opportunity. You can use it everywhere. I also love how it looks. I love how it sounds. Depends on which driving mode you choose. If you go to normal, it is soft. You can really use it daily. If you go to sports, and everything is immediately there. You got a switch, you can just press it. You don't need to search long at some menus, and it's really simple, nice and sporty, the whole thing about this car. And that's why I love this car. So it's absolutely worth its money.